Olatunji, your question. Mr. Olatunji, your question.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, Engineer Peter. Thank you for the opportunity for us to join by virtual means. Yeah. I like this introduction to InfoWorks water supply, but here in Kaduna, we have a need how to manage the distribution system. I want to know if there is any functionality in the software that can help us to manage the distribution system, especially when it comes to customer consumption, how to read the customer meters. We have more than 10,000 domestic meters in the network. And for now, we use manual method for reading it, and it's not very convenient. Also, how to link the distribution database, customer database, or house connection database to the billing system. Is there any functionality like that in this software that can meet our needs for managing the distribution system for water supply?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Very clear. So there is the ability to connect. Now it's not made to connect for each meter, you know. So it's more like you set it up for DMAs, like for district meter area, and in that district meter area, you have the ability to, you know, I don't know, you have a certain number of population. You can do it, you know, and theoretically you can do it, you know, but it's not what the software is made for. Like putting that meter results out there. It's more like you connect with a district meter area, then you have, of course, you have the billing in there. You can put the billing in there. You can, you know, if you're looking at leakage, for example, you can see what you are losing, for instance, as water, based on that billing, based on that meters. You know, you can do it, yes. But normally we do it on, you know, if you're going to do it by house, it's going to take you a lot of time. What I suggest we can do is maybe we can look at your. Maybe we run a separate session, us together, and we can look at your model, and maybe we take that model and maybe we make a small model of it and see maybe this is what is the best way to do it via InfoWorks WS Pro. But certainly you can do it. It's going to be very laborious to set up every meet, you know, it's going to be a lot of, you're speaking about how big a population you're speaking here. 10,000, you mean 10,000 customer meters. So, you know, I would like to look at it more in detail, maybe separately. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. But of course, there are ways to do it in InfoWorks WS Pro. And one of the case studies is actually about this actual thing that you mentioned now. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Olatunji. Another question.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Hello, can
you? Yeah. I have just two questions. And my first question is, you talked about the central data server. And the question I want to ask is, are there any authorization mode for another user? For example, maybe the engineer is working cloud-based, and there is another person that wants to access it. Will there be a need to ask for authorization, or the person can just go and access the project from cloud?
Very clear question. Yeah. So there are two things. So I know I went very quick on it, even though I think I'm taking a lot of time. But there are two things. First, when I spoke about the work group and the remote engines and everything, that's all in desktop. So that maybe is, you know, you guys, I don't know, if it's a government, for instance, the government is in its server, so it's got the admin rights for everything, right? So it's going to be inside the server. It's going to be on the desktop. Now, if you want to go on the cloud, it is optional. And before you do it, there is a certain like agreement and a certain like you don't do it automatically. You have to agree to send some of the results on the cloud and use it right there. Okay, so there are two things. So the cloud. So we won't take the results like this, or we don't take the model like this on our own. You or the engineer who is got the admin right is going to be able to use that optional cloud simulation, for instance, and then he's going to be able to share it in the cloud. However, most of the time, what I'm seeing in my region is that this is not needed. it is done on the desk on-prem. I mean, it's done on-prem, but you can send it on a server. But that server is also something that, you know, whoever is the client responsible for that server is going to have the right for it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then the second question is that are there any continuity of data insertion or updating of data? What I mean is that, for example, you run an analysis maybe in 2000, and maybe you want to work on it in after 10 years. How are you going to put a new data into it, or after inserting the new data, collecting the data, are there any within the program that will show you the difference between the old data and the new data?
Right. Yeah, I get you. So you're saying you're speaking about GIS or SCADA or both? You're speaking about both, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. So if you're speaking, let's take the example of GIS. If you're speaking about GIS, let's say you have already some data in GIS, but that GIS model was updated. Okay. So when that updates, when you come and import that, and import it to InfoWorks WS Pro, the software will ask you. The software will tell you that there are, there are some changes out there, and the software will tell you, do you want to rewrite on them, or do you want to have it separately, or do you want to add on what you currently have? So you're going to be choosing on InfoWorks WS Pro what you need to add as extra data. Now, when it comes to SCADA, it's very similar as well. So you have some results today. You have some SCADA, you're connected to SCADA right away, but maybe something changes, something in the SCADA changes. You're going to connect to it, in real time or near real time. And you're going to allow, or you're going to ask the software to do it for you. Like if you want to not do anything, just have the SCADA right there, you are able to do it. But if you want to automate it, I'm speaking about automation, then the software will take that result and use that result as the boundary condition to run the new simulation. You know what I mean? And you're going to be able to put it at a predefined frequency, right? So you tell it every 2 hours, I want you to connect to the SCADA and run that simulation, and you tell it, or every 5 hours or every day. So you have the ability to do it like this. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Is that am I clear or?
Yes,
Yep.
That's fine.
Right. Okay. I know you said we're stopping in 7 minutes, but I still have like a few slides to go through. Do I have the time, Peter?
No problem. You have the time. One more question.
My question is short. This is my question. You know, on the pumping line, as the pipeline ages.
Okay, I can barely hear you. Sorry, can you repeat?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a bit better, but there's an echo. You can go ahead. Yes.
Okay, I said on the pumping line, as your pipeline ages, the internal roughness coefficient of the pipe increases, which means you need to exert more air. The frictional loss increases by so doing. How does the model handle this?
Peter, can you repeat the question? I really couldn't hear. It cuts.
I said,
yes, now it's better.
Line,
yes, pumping line.
If you have a new pipeline,
yes,
as it ages, the internal roughness of the pipeline,
yes,
increases and requires more. The frictional losses increases because of that increased roughness.
Okay.
And the pressure head needed to force water along the pipeline increases as the pipe ages.
As the pipe, sorry?
As the pipe ages, I think he said.
The pipe ages, yes, correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What is the question? Sorry.
That's it. Okay. How does the model handle that?
How does the model? You have to put in like some data in there. There's a data where you put, if you have an age for the pipe itself. You mean you have an age for the pipe itself? You can input that data.
That means you have to assume a parameter for the roughness coefficient of the pipe.
Yes, there is a roughness. Yeah, there is a roughness that you can change yourself, or you can take the the standard one. the standard roughness that is there in the code. You can take that, or you can choose it yourself. So it will take that into consideration, the calculation. But here we're speaking about the age of water. So we're speaking about the age of water out there, yeah? So yeah, if you can't change it, yeah, you have the ability to change it, if that's your question.
I think his question,
yeah,
was about as a pipe ages,
okay,
the losses due to friction, the roughness of the pipe also increase, and the pressure required to drive water through that pipe also increases. So
yes,
how
and the
do you
damage also
factor
increase,
that?
yeah.
How do you factor that in the model?
How do I factor that into the model? You have the ability to input that. In fact, you have the ability to input that manually, but the software won't know the age of the pipe. You have to tell it. So if you have the age of the pipe and you have the properties of the roughness, yes, the software will take it into a mathematical model and will start predicting for you. But if you don't have it, then you know, the software can be only as good as your input in this situation.
Okay.
But you know, if you have
Okay.
Hassan, can I jump in? I think I have a good idea of what he's talking about.
Okay, go on, Michelle.
All right, so I think basically what he's asking is how you model, you know, the revised roughness coefficient of the pipe after a certain period of time. The issue is in our environment, you know, we basically lack the data to do calibration of the network. When you do calibration, it gives you an insight of what the roughness friction factor of the pipe has become after so many years of usage. So if you would have data that you can use to do the calibration, you can put that data in the network, in the software, and then it can simulate and then, you know, come up with a range of roughness coefficient that, you know, based on the simulation runs. I think,
like you mean inversely. I will have to check. I will have to check. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
Hassan,
rather than
look
putting
at the
roughness,
article.
Yeah.
Look at the article I just sent you. Probably this could help. You can show that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's look at this. Let's look at this separately, guys. I will check this question. I've not done it this way, but I know what you mean. Like you can look, get the roughness, the opposite, not input the roughness and see. You know, I get what you mean, but I have to check it. So Misbaho, if you can write this question for me, I will look with the rest of the extended team and see what they say about it.
Okay.
Okay, but I just needed us to confirm that's the question that he was talking about, because I thought,
yes, that is
I
the
have
question.
a good understanding.
That is his question. Oh, great. Let me go back to my extended teammate and ask them about this particular question. For me, I've not done it this way, so I need to check. Yeah.
Also, I know we saw a lot today, but of course, you have our contacts now. We are in close coordination with CDSS, so make sure that any question is directed to Mr. Fisher and his team, or to us, or both. We'll make sure we'll get back to you in the best way possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Peter or Julian is there. If there is any question in the audience that we can answer today, or we should maybe wait for the questions and answer them later on.
Are we done with the studies?
The case studies.
Studies?
I made them a bit light. I know I was going to take time earlier, so I made them a bit light.
Anybody else with a question?
We can share more case studies later. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay. Following through the case studies you were going through, were more about water supply related. There was nothing much on drainage and stormwater case study in your presentation.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so the question I want to ask you is actually drainage related. And this is my question. What is the hydrological parameters input into the InfraWorks software? And how does it differ from our 3D storm and sanitary analysis, especially in the aspect of generating intensity from the IDF?
Yeah, so there are two parts in this. So first, happy to share, this session was with the water supply, I think, water distribution, but happy to have another session if you want separately about drainage, InfoWorks, ICM. I can show you some similar, presentation and demo about it. That's why we didn't show case studies out there. But if you're eager to see something, I would ask Peter Julian to connect me later on, and I'll send you some information. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part, your question is a very good question, albeit is a bit general. Like SSA, you mean storm and sanitary analysis inside Autodesk. I am no expert at it. It's not an Innovice solution. But what I can tell you is that SSA is being replaced by the tools in Info Drainage and InfoWorks ICM. And Info Drainage maybe is the one that is replacing it as far as from my understanding about SSA, but I am not in a technical position to describe what the differences. I can speak about Innovice products, and as far as the hydrological and hydraulic tools, I will need you to be a bit more specific, but I don't know, like we're speaking about drainage. Yeah, there is the SCS method, the curve numbers. There is the, a modified, rational method. There is like all the methods that, because we're using our solutions everywhere. It's not used only in the UK or in the US. We have a case study today, for example, as far as InfoWorks ICM with Qatar, for the World Cup. We use our solutions everywhere. So we do have, these hydrological, if you want, the equations or the functionalities or the core that we're using. If you're asking about what do I need to start, to start actually, start working on this, on this network or on this model, then I'm happy to tell you that we have always the ability to fill in the gaps. So if you're speaking about roughness earlier, you get, for example, the Darcy Worksbach or other roughnesses out there, they will be standardized for you. It will fill in the voids when you don't have the answer. But really, if you have a GIS, if you have your CAD, for example, you can start from there. It's not gonna prevent you from doing from starting. It gives you always the start to do your simulation and to see the results, and then from there you can go and start to adjust things. So I know I answered it in a different way, but I tried to give you a bit of a useful input. Besides this, I'm actually going to share my screen very quickly to show you what for yourself, if you want to look more about what we're using today as hydraulics or as anything else. We are very transparent. So all the equations and all the functionalities is all shared. So if you, for example, if you're looking at, InfoWorks ICM, you can come to InfoWorks ICM. This is public. Everybody can access it. And you can see everything from what's new to data management to results, anything you really want. Say, for instance, you are interested in a particular functionality or a particular equation or a particular function, then you can write it here. You can say, for example, I'm interested in, CS method, a CS method, right? Or the curve number method. You can go there. It will show you really what it means, where it came from, the history, the equation, even including the references. And if you want to look at it more of how it's input in the software, you can click on it and you can see how it is actually input and what it's actually using. All right. So including anything, any detail that you're looking for to find, you can find it in there. But to save you some time, you can come to me and tell me what is it you're looking for, and I can advise you accordingly. Okay. But literally anything we are sharing today we're very transparent. We share everything in there, including, as I said, what's new. For example, you would like to know what's new today. cloud capabilities. I don't know. You want to see what's being added for flood insection, anything you want to see, it will be there. I say anything, but maybe you won't find something, then you'll really need to come to me. But yeah, and including the different versions and all of that. Okay, I'm just trying to give you something beneficial. Since I'm sharing my screen on the same topic, today we have even like some we share some tools today as far as learning about the solutions. So if you go to learning paths here, for example, you will see some of the training resources that we used to charge for, but today it's for free. So if you go to Innovize, you will be able to to click on, let's go for info drainage, for example. You will see the whole course module that we used to provide, we used to charge for free. It lasts about 5 hours, but you can go through it yourself. You can go to model build and learn how to build a model. You can go to learning how to design a pipe. There's everything in there. There's the videos. There is there is a Q&A. There is even a PDF. So you have the ability to. Just want to give you an example where we're actually making there's a video inside the software, quiz, anything like that. So just wanted to give you the idea that when you want to learn about our solutions, it's free, and you have the ability to learn it on your own. Okay. I hope I gave like some good answer. Maybe I answered the question, maybe I didn't. If you want a comparison with SSA, I can share it with you in a blog. But myself, as far as Innovize people, SSA belongs to the Autodesk, so we don't really know much about it. But what I know is being replaced by our solutions. Okay.
Okay. Gentlemen.
I see somebody raising their hand.
Are there any questions online?
Yeah, somebody, Coyote, is raising his hand.
Okay, Coyote, please unmute yourself.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Azanai. Please forgive me.
You said it right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Please, you mentioned one link just now, link where if somebody have questions, somebody can go in there and learn by oneself. Please, is there a way you can share the link?
Yeah, sure. It's in the help file. Julian and Peter, if you want, I can share these with you in the email, and you can distribute it to the audience. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
It's in the help file. Basically, it's the Autodesk help file. But I don't have I can't send a message on the chat. That's why I think we do it through Peter. Okay.
Understood. Thanks.
All right. And any other question if you have? How do you know? I have a question for the audience actually. How do you normally today manage your your water network, pressurized network? I believe maybe we have different stakeholders today, different attendees, maybe some in the consultancy, contractors, some in the maybe in the utilities. Today in Nigeria, in general, since I'm very new to Nigeria myself, and I've been introduced to it very well by Misbahu and Peter, I would like to know a bit more if you can share maybe some of the challenges or maybe a wish list, either now or later on, a wish list of what this software you hope to bring to you, and that maybe would be would bring an added value beside what I said, or an added value that I've already mentioned today. Maybe you would like to highlight to us today. If you want to do it together, or if you want to do it as maybe individually, I'm happy to do this. So to leave it to Peter and the team as well.
Hassanin, what I'm going to suggest, you remember that you sent us 3 questionnaires: owner, EPC, and consultant.
That's right.
I'm going to share those questionnaires with everyone, and let's get the feedback from that, because I think we could get more comprehensive responses.
100%. 100%. Very good idea.
We can look at that collectively.
Very good idea. And even if there is any extra thing, Peter, any extra thing the team would like to add based on this presentation, because the questionnaire, includes some of the questions but maybe not in this, not based on this presentation. I'm happy for me to receive, a remark or an observation or a new an added value that the team would like to see. Okay.
Yeah, particularly things that are peculiar to us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. One other thing, please, in order to do this, everyone who's on the seminar today must register. Must register so that we have your contact details so we can send this information. Please. All right. Even that goes for the room. If there's anyone who didn't register in the room with your name, company, and email address, please do so we can send all of this information to you. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, like that way I can actually prioritize what, if somebody has got really a good feedback and they would like to see us,
Sure.
we're happy to even fly to Nigeria at some point and have a discussion. But I will need some feedback from the team, and then we can discuss. All right.
I think you've got one taker of that already.
All right, good. That's really good.
Okay.
That's really good.
Mateo, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, as I said before, I think we come across the same theme. I've said it already at the beginning of my presentation. We deeply rely on our partners. For us, you are our local extension, so I invite all of the people in there to reach out to you and to us at the same time to get more out of it and hopefully help you take the best out of our solutions, and happy to have more conversations around. Yeah.
Thank you, Mateo. Thank you very much.
All right.
Mishbal, final word from you. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, okay. It's good now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so nothing at this point, but if there's any further clarification, of course, or question based on the presentation, happy to take it. Thank you.
All right. I think with that, I say that we have come to the end of today's session. Mateo,
thank you so much, guys.
Hassanain, Mishbal,
thank you very much,
and everyone in the room and everyone online. Thank you so much. Please register if you haven't, so that we can follow up with you. Oh, Brian.
Peter, just one thing. Sorry, just one thing, Peter, before I interrupt. For the gentleman who asked about drainage, I would like to have a session with them if they're interested in drainage. I know we've just focused on the water distribution today.
Sure. We
can
set one up for drainage.
No worries. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank
Brian,
you.
would you like to have a few words?
Yes, no problem. So
please
for me again,
Right. By the way, for the audience, Brian is the Autodesk. He's Africa when it comes to Autodesk. So he's the voice of Africa at Autodesk. Please, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. So again, for me, it's just a vote of thanks for the people in the room and for the people online for taking the initiative, because if you want to resolve your challenges in your businesses, you have to take the initiative by attending such an event, listening to the experts that have led us through this session today, and please go ahead with the initiative that you've taken. Invite us into your organizations. Let's deepen the conversations so that we can actually help you, resolve the challenges that you may be facing. Again, Peter, from you and your team, thanks for organizing this. Very well done.
Okay. With that, I say good day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks again.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
thank you, bye.